Well, race 16 of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship has been run and won today. The course staff SuperSprint up here in Darwin. Scott McLaughlin, he chalks up another race win. Lowndesy, very different field today to what we had last weekend due to everybody being on that same tyre. It was an all-out slogfest between Scotty McLaughlin and Jamie Whincup for that race win. I felt like Cam Waters was possibly just not in that fight for the lead. What was your take on today's race?
Yeah, I think it was a fantastic race. It really come down to the start, and both of them didn't get perfect starts, but Scotty got a little bit better than Jamie, and you saw the drag race down to turn one, and it's quite a long run down to turn one, but just managed to get his nose in front of Jamie. And of course, from that point on, they tried to have a little bit of tactics with all their strategy. They both only put 2 tyres on, but you're right, Cam was probably the best of the rest. He just faded towards the middle part of that race, but to be honest, I reckon Cam's a massive improver. It's the first time he's been back on the podium since the Adelaide race, the start of the season, so good tick for him.
Absolutely. Let's go for a bit of a walk, mate. We'll wander it down. While we're chatting, we are on Paddock Pass Live, powered by Repco. For everybody that's tuning in on Facebook, let us know at the end of this segment, we're going to get Lowndesy to either do his best Queen impersonation or he's going to do his best John Farnham impersonation. Bryce Fullwood here behind us, stand out for me for the day. I know Scotty McLaughlin, he's chalked up, was it his 49th race win, something along those numbers. I lost count at about 20. But Bryce Fullwood, standout day for him today in the Walkinshaw Andretti United car.
Oh, a massive step forward for him since last weekend. Like, he actually out-qualified Chaz, and that's no mean feat. Like, Chaz is the oldest in that team, but unfortunately the top 15 lap didn't quite go his way. Made a few little mistakes, but look, that's the learning curve for him. And he said he wanted to be in the sort of the shootout, the top 15, and he was second. He was the second last car off pit lane. So big credit for him. These guys in Erebus, they need sort of work out a little bit for poor old Davey. Like, he didn't even make the shootout, I should say, because they tried to make a bit of a strategy call and try to get through on the one set of tyres, which didn't work out. And then, of course, when you're stuck in the middle to the back of the pack of this field, it's such quality people, you just can't work your way forward.
It's interesting for me that you make note, probably Dave has been the biggest guy to drop down the pecking order, let's call it, since this whole COVID shutdown has happened. We've had a reinvigorate of how the teams operate with inside the garages. They're limited to the amount of people. And I feel like Dave's been hurt the most out of anybody. The guys down the other end of pit lane have come forward. These guys here have come back. They've sort of met in the middle, whereas Dave, in that natural pecking order, he's dropped a lot. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that he is suffering a little bit, though, because he doesn't have his engineer here. Barry is engineering him, so he is suffering a little bit. And whether that's the only factor for him, but look at poor old Cam here. He's doing his socials, having a feed.
So before I'm going to jump in here and bomb my little buddy Cam Waters here, I'll just quick reminder, Paddock Pass Live, powered by Repco. Let us know, Lowndesy, do we want him to do the John Farnham? Or the Queen tribute at the end of it. Hey, Cam Waters, I'll grab you there, mate, while you've just fired a little bit of your roll into your mouth. We were just saying, really the battle at the front there was Scotty and Jamie. You've been a massive improvement since last week's event here. What do you need tomorrow to be able to take it to those guys?
We actually took a very similar car of race 3 last week into that race. We had a fast car last week, but just didn't have the best pit stop and didn't qualify that well. So I think our cars are pretty good, top 5 pace, good enough for a podium obviously, but those other cars probably just have a bit better tyre life than us. So it's something that we've been lacking for a little while at Tickford, and we're just trying to hunt to work out what that is.
Let's turn our attention to midweek now. You went and had a run around just a couple of 100 metres over that way, around Northline Speedway in the sprint car. How was that for you?
Yeah, sprint car was awesome. So maybe I need to do a bit more of it, have a drive one of them and then I'd go out and get a podium. But had a lot of fun. Can't thank Jamie O'Neill, obviously Darwin Speedway, and Colin McQueen for making it happen for me. So something that I've always wanted to do is drive sprint cars, and they pulled a few strings and made it happen.
I did ask you this question last week, 4 odd days ago. Any chance you're going to line up at a sprint car event at some point? I fired the classic at you and you laughed at me and suggested that you need a bit more seat time.
Oh, look, never say never, I suppose, but yeah, I definitely need more seat time. So we'll see what happens.
I feel like we've planted the seed. We'll let you get back to your salad and your roll there. I feel like you've burned enough energy today that you should be eating a little bit more than that, mate. A little bit of nutritional value from our end. So Craig, listening to Cam there, he just said, he needs a little bit more to run with these guys here. I'm with you. He's a massive improvement on last week's performance, particularly out of that garage and particularly out of his side of the garage.
Yeah, I think so. There's no doubt that, between the 4 cars, they've been trying to get it up there. And of course, don't forget that Jack LeBrock got his first victory at Sydney Motorsport Park. So they're definitely moving forward as a collective group, but they just need to obviously find a bit more consistency, which is what this guy here in this red garage, in the Shell garage, is definitely doing a lot of at the moment, and dominating the qualifying. Although I've got to say that Jamie just pipped him today in the top 15, which was actually really a great lap. But of course, then as you said, it come down to the starts, and basically for these guys, they're continuing on.
Typically, Paddock Pass Live, powered by Repco, we've got a plethora of people along this pit lane. You can find them everywhere. They're always around. Everyone's happy to chat. For some reason, everybody's gone. I was actually looking for Shane Van Gisbergen there before. I don't know, you've got some connections in that place, whether or not we can go and find him, but he looked like he was really battling with the day temp when he got, or the cabin temp from within that car when he got out. I tried to talk to him straight after the race and he just said, look, it is crazy hot out there. I need a little bit of time here just to recover. Have you spoken to those guys within that garage since the race, and why so much are they all battling?
Not post-race, and that was Ludo Lacroix that went through, the cheeky Frenchman. I think he's just about to come back. Here he comes. But basically, really, Shane doesn't cope with the hot temperatures. I think, I know he's a Kiwi and we all take sort of a little bit out of him for that, but at the end of the day, we're all made up very differently. I don't sweat a lot, you don't, but he sweats a lot and he can't really perform in really extreme heat. And of course, this weekend he always suffers. His feet get sore. He gets like the attitude in the sense of like people think that he's just a bit arrogant, but he just wants to get back, can't cool down, and get his body core temp down.
Okay, well, you've been within the inner sanctum of that team before and worked a lot with Shane, so thanks for those updates. So tune in tomorrow, 10:45 Eastern Standard Time, live on Fox 506. It'll be 10:15 local time here in Darwin. Seems to be a resounding number of people on Paddock Pass Live, powered by Repco, think that you should do Queen, mate. Have you got a Dale in there? Come on.
A Dale. I actually want to do the Johnny Farnham. I just want to come back and drive.
Yeah, right. So one more time.
One
is that
more
what
time,
it is?
that's it.
Thanks very much, Lansy. Tune in tomorrow. One thing's for sure, it's going to be another cracking Supercars race.